Today, I'm going to show you how to make custom health and shield bars inside Fortnite. These can be used to add a custom twist to your map and make it stand out from the traditional health and shield bars. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. First thing you need to do is go to your Verse Explorer, right click and add a new verse file to the project. Here, go ahead and I'm going to name this our custom health underscore manager and hit create. Once this is done, go ahead and open it up. In this, what we want to do is first get every single player who joins the game. So to do this, go under on begin and go through every single player in get play space dot get players, and then what this will do is go through every single player who's currently in the game, and this will happen at the very start of the game. And we want to go ahead and initiate the player just like so, and then we also want to get new players who join the game late. So to do this, I'll do get play space dot player added event dot subscribe, and then we're subscribing to our initiate function. So now let's go ahead and create that initiate function. We'll call this our initiate. It's going to take in a agent, which is a player. So in this initiate function, what we need to do is add a UI to the player. So let's go ahead and create our UI elements. So for our health bar, we need a background, which we'll just use a color block for. So if I say var health background bar, and it's going to be a type color block equal to color block, and you see here we get an error. We need to use temporary UI. So just copy and paste that up here at the top of your file. Then in this color block, if we control click, we have a couple things that we can add. So we can add a default color, a default opacity, as well as a default desired size, which we're not going to worry about, but we are going to worry about these two. So let's go ahead and assign a default color. To do this, you go into these brackets and write default color, which is equal to, and then you can write whatever color you want. For my background bar, I'm going to have it just as a simple black. Here we need to use name colors to include the color black like so. And then I also want to default opacity, so I'll add a comma and initialize our default opacity. I want it to be 0.5 so that the background is semi-transparent. Now let's go ahead and actually just duplicate this for our normal bar. So I'll just call this our health bar, and instead of black, I want this to be green, and for our opacity, I want this to just be 1.0. Now I'm just going to duplicate this again, except for I'm going to change our health to our shield. So we have our shield background bar as well as our shield bar. Except for our shield bar, I'm going to change the default color to light blue. So now that we've created a new color block, we want to add them to the player UI. So to do this, we first need to get the player. You write if, and then we'll make a new variable called player, and it's going to be equal to player agent. What this will do is just convert this agent into a player. Then we also need to get the player UI. So to get this, we'll call it player UI. We'll make a new variable, and we're going to make it equal to our get player UI function, and then we'll get the player UI for the player. So with this, we get our player from the agent, and then we get our player UI from that player. Now we need to create a new canvas that's going to get added to this player. So we're going to make a new variable called new canvas, and it's going to be equal to a canvas, and then we need to actually define this canvas. So first we want to add an array of slots like so, and then we'll go ahead and define our first slot. In this slot, we have a few components. To know what these are, the best method is actually to minimize your verse, minimize this, go into your content browser, hit right click, user interface, hit widget blueprint, and create a new user widget. This, I'm just going to name this our test health widget and open it up. Now let's go ahead and drag on a canvas panel and then add both of our images. These images are going to represent the color blocks that we just created. So let's go ahead and change the anchors to the bottom left where I want the health bar to be, move this image and position it exactly how I want it to be. Then I'm actually just going to duplicate this and do the exact same thing. So this will be our shield bar and this will be our health bar. So now let's go back into our verse code and our canvas slot. The first thing we need to specify is the widget, which will first do our health background bar. Then we have our anchors. So I'll just go ahead and write anchors is equal to anchors, where our minimum is equal to vector 2, x is equal to, if we actually go back into our widget. So if we look here, our anchors are x, which is 0, and then our y, which is 1. So let's go back to verse. Our X here is 0.0 and our Y is 1.0. Here we're getting an error because we need to include spatial math in order to use vector 2. Now that we have a minimum, we also need to include a maximum. So add a comma, set our maximum equal to the exact same thing. So I'll just copy and paste this, except for delete this minimum section. So we just have the vector. The next thing that we need to specify, if we go back to our widget, is our offsets, which are these four values. So to do this, we'll say our offsets is equal to a margin where our left value is equal to this position X, so 132, and then our position Y is negative 190. So if I go back, our left is equal to negative 132, and then our top value is equal to 190. Make sure to include 0.0, as these are float numbers. Then we have our right value. So if we go back, that's going to be 386, and then our size Y is 35. I also did realize these two numbers are switched, at least the negative value. So I got the negatives wrong on these two values, so I'll change that. So our right is 386, and then our size Y is 35, which is going to be the bottom is equal to 35. And forget here 0.0s, and then I'll actually just switch the negatives as I made that mistake previously. Next, we have our alignment. This is going to be equal to a vector 2, where our X, if we actually go back to our widget here, both of these are just 0. So our X is equal to 0.0 and our Y is equal to 0.0. Then we have our Z order. If we go into our widget, our Z order is going to be the layer this is on. So because we're doing our background bar, I want this to be Z order 0. And then last, we just have size to content, which will want to be false. That's it for this background bar. So let's go ahead and duplicate this canvas slot, except for here. I'm going to add our actual health bar to the exact same position. Only change is I want the Z order to be 1 so that it's placed on top of our background bar. Now let's go ahead and duplicate this again, except for here we'll do our shield background bar. So let's go back to our widget. Everything should be the exact same except for our position Y, because it's the change in the position's Y value, and that'll be negative 250 instead. So we'll look for the top and change this to negative 250 and change our Z order to 0. Then duplicate this one last time and change the widget to the shield bar, as well as the Z order to 1. And just like that, we now have our actual canvas created. We just now need to add this new canvas to our player's UI. To do this, you just simply reference your player UI that we got up here. Then you write up add widget, and then you add the widget of our new canvas that we created. So this will now add all of the bars to the player's UI whenever they join the game. What we now need to do is have these bars update according to the player's health. To do this, I'm going to call a new function down here, and I'm going to call this track player health, and we need to send this function quite a few things. First is going to be our agent, which is going to be our player. Next, we want to send it the canvas that we added to this player, so I'll send it our new canvas. And then we want to send it both our health bar as well as our shield bar, because these are going to be changing. This function doesn't exist yet. Let's go ahead and go down here, call this our track player health function, and we need to now take in all 4 of these different variable types. So first, it's going to be an agent, which is of type agent. Then we are going to take in a canvas of type canvas, and then we'll take in 2 color blocks. So an HP bar of type color block, and then a shield bar of type color block, and we want this to just return nothing. Under this, we want to make a loop. So I'll add a loop, and then instantly we want to sleep for 0.0 seconds. Here you'll see I spelled this wrong. It needs to be canvas, and you'll also see that we get this error because we need to include suspends in this function. So if I go ahead and add suspends here, we now get an error up here. That's because whenever you're calling a suspending function, you need to spawn that function just like so. Now in this, what we need to do is first get the player's health and shield, and then update the bars accordingly. So first, let's go ahead and get the player's health and shield. So to do this, you want to get the fort character for the agent. So if our fort character is equal to agent.getFortCharacter, just like so, and here we need to include using characters. So just go ahead and copy this and paste it here at the top. Now under this, we'll make two variables. First, our player health, which is equal to fc.get health, and then our player shield, which is equal to our for character dot get shield. So now we've accomplished getting our player's health and shield. We need to update these progress bars accordingly. So if we actually go back to our test health widget, I'm going to duplicate one of our images here, and then I'm actually going to position it in the exact same position as our other widget. So to do that, you can actually really quickly just go to the first image, copy the canvas slot, go to the other image and paste it. Now that it's in the exact same position, I'm going to change the color and also the Z order. So with this, we can now visualize what we need to do with this shield bar. To actually increase or decrease the size or the amount of shield in this bar, you'll see as we're moving this bar, we need to increase the size X. While I move this, the size X is going up and down. So now let's go back into verse. To do this, what we first want to do is get our percentage of our health and shield out of the player's max health or max shield. So I'm going to make two more variables called health percentage. And in this, you'll want to write what your player's max health is going to be. So let's say players in your game have 100 health, which is the normal amount. And you'll write the player's health, which is the player's current health, divided by whatever that amount is, which for me is going to be 100. So let's pretend our player health is 50. This health percentage is now going to be 0.5, which is going to be the percentage of health out of its total. Now let's really quick do the same thing and get our shield percentage. So this is going to be our player shield divided by 100. And now we need to get our, now that we have both percentages, we need to get our X value that is equivalent to that percentage except for out of the total size X. So our total size X, if we go back to our verse code, is our right value, which is going to be 386. So what we want to do is going to be our new HP X value, create a new variable like so, and it's going to be our total max length, which is going to be our right value, it's 386.0 times our health percentage. This will get the percentage of the total bar's value that we'll now set our amount equal to. Now we just have to do the same thing for our shield. So I'll just go ahead and duplicate this new shield X value. And instead of our health percentage, we'll change this to our shield percentage. Now last, we actually just need to change these color blocks to our new positions. So to do this, first start by setting them both invisible. So we'll go ahead and write HP var dot set visibility, and we're setting it to widget visibility dot hidden. Spelled visibility wrong here. Go ahead and fix that like so. And then I'm going to copy that and do the same thing for our shield bar. Then we want to remove both of these from our canvas. So I'll just write canvas dot remove widget HP bar, then do the exact same thing except for our shield bar. The reason we're doing this is because we need to remove the widget from its current position and then re-add it to its new position or scale amount. Then whenever we go to re-add it, first set them both to visible again, like so. And then we now need to re-add both widgets. So to do this, I'm actually just going to copy their current canvas slots. So canvas dot add widget, and then here just add your canvas slot, and then go ahead and duplicate this again, except here change this to your health bar widget, or your, here we have it called HP bar. So now it'll actually re-add the widgets to the player's screen. What we need to change is our right value to instead be the new values. So for our HP bar, our right value is the new HP X value, and our shield bar is the new shield X value. Now this will make an updating health and shield custom bar. There's a couple more things I want to do. First, I'm going to quickly remove where we get our for character and add it before the loop. That is because I want to end this loop whenever the player leaves. So to do this, we're going to add a race. So if I add a race, what this will do is have two functions simultaneously playing, and whenever one of them finishes, it will end them both. So this loop is just going to be infinite. So instead, we want to make a block that ends if this player leaves the game. So to do this, we'll just go ahead and make a loop that gets our play space and activates off of our player removed event dot wait. So now this loop will just constantly wait for a player to leave, but we don't want to just end the loop for every player as soon as someone left. We only want to do so if the leaving player is equal to the player that this loop is running for. So to do that, we'll just say our leaving player is equal to this player removed event, and then check if our leaving player is equal to the agent that this loop is running for, and if it is, then we'll go ahead and break the loop. So now what this race will do is run both of these functions, or these loops, at the same time. This loop is just going to run infinitely, and then this loop is going to wait for a player to leave the game, and if that player who left the game is corresponding to the player that this loop is running for, then it's going to end both of the loops. One more thing that I do want to cover is if you want to instead add a custom health bar using images, the exact same process, except for instead of having a color block here, you'll want this to be a texture block. So to do that, let's say this is going to be your background bar. I'm going to call this our custom health background bar, and instead of our color block, it'll be a texture block, just like so. And if you are using a texture block, then you need to specify the default image. So this is just going to be an asset that you've imported, whether it's a PNG or a JPEG, will be used for the bar. And then you would just replace this everywhere where the background bar is referenced. Anyway, let's go ahead and delete that and then test this out in game. So to do that, just go ahead and hit build verse code. And then you'll see we have a custom health verse class that we can now drag into our game. No settings that we have to fill out. All we have to do is launch session. The one thing I am going to do is go into our content browser and search for a HUD controller device. Then I can drag it into the play space, search for health, and we have our show health, which I can go ahead and turn off. And same thing for our shield. I'll go ahead and turn off show shields. Then I'm going to go into my island settings here and change our starting shield percentage to 100. And I'm also going to turn on shield recharge so that it can better display how this is changing. Last, I'm just going to go ahead and add a damage volume device here. I'm going to turn on the zone being visible, and I'll just keep this as 10 damage so that I can damage myself and test this out. Now let me go ahead and launch session and test this out in game. One more quick thing is I forgot to change this X value to 190 for our HP bar so that it matches our canvas slot up here for the HP. So now in game, you see we have our health and our shield bar, and whenever I take damage, you'll see it updates. We have the background bar that now shows, and if I go ahead and wait for my shield regen to kick in, you'll see it increases as my shield increases. Then if we go ahead and take enough damage so that we lose health, takes away from the health bar so that it's constantly updating to our current player's health. And just like that, you've now created your own custom health and shield bars inside of UEFN. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to become the #1 Map Academy channel on YouTube, and right now we're getting beaten by quite a lot, as you can see. So please subscribe, it'll help me out a lot. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.